Hello everyone, this is Ellie and today's topic will be security. More likely talking about, being a woman. Well, I am a woman. I cannot talk as much for the guys, for the males, because I think their perception through life and what society expect from them is different. So in this today's video, I am going to talk more likely about me as a woman and my issues with perfectionism and how am I working with them. As you can see, today I decided to get a bit more of makeup, to dress a bit more feminine, more into these ideals. And I did it because I am a person that does not spend so much time getting herself like in makeup or dressing up. I am someone who prefers to spend day in sweatpants and doing stuff outdoors. Therefore, I do not usually look like this. I prefer to be more comfortable. But it has happened to me because I do like makeup. I do like it. I enjoy it. I do not wear it as much because not so much about putting the makeup up, but more likely because of the fact that I have very sensitive skin. So whenever I take the makeup off, my skin tends to go reddish, and if I am not very careful with the kind of makeup I am, if it's not hypoallergenic, hypoallergenic, I don't know if that's a word. Is that okay? If I do not use special products, I get super red and it can last months. It's awful, awful. But people is so used to look at me not looking like this. Then when they do, they are like, "Oh, you look so beautiful, so nice. Why don't you do it more constantly? Why don't you look like this more often? Like, why do you allow yourself to go through life in sweatpants and not wearing so much makeup?" And I tell them, when because I don't feel like it. And it's funny because in my work area, I do have to deal with clients, so presentation is important. And once I went into my workplace, and one of my coworkers told me, like, you should be dressed like that more often, especially if you are going to deal with clients. So if I can see that you can look like that, why don't you do it so often? And I go through the I understand that when you work in for someone else and you have to accomplish certain standards or perhaps deadlines or often sales, I understand the importance of how you look. But to be fair, the kind of people I deal with are not. It's not like I am going to grab a glass of water and tell them, like, this is something you are going to have to pay for. It's not the kind of business we made. So my looks, I think, should not be so important, because the kind of people I usually deal with in my workplace are normally pretty much older men that are already in another state in their lives. Like, they do not care how you look. They just came to make business, and once their business is done, they leave. And never have I ever noticed that the way I look affect my sales. So that's what I told my coworker, like, it has never affected the way I look, how I sell. Like, I understand that in some cases how you look can make you sell more and better, but in my area it's not the case. So that's why I know I do not you do it so often. And there comes the topic I wanted to talk about this need of particularly women. Like, I am not saying that men are not expected to look in a certain way, but I think, and I'm pretty sure you will agree with me, that for women you're expected to look better and to be always more into the standard of beauty, even though I think that beauty is something we choose, or likes in beauty, I mean, sorry. But aside of that, it's really annoying because if you think about it, your value as a person cannot depend on how you look, because if that's the way things are going to be, your value will irremediably lower through age, especially for women. The older we get, the less attractive we tend to be, because we get wrinkles. Maybe if we become moms, our bodies will change. A lot of things happen through time. We may not have so soft skin. Hormones will eventually go down, so our skin and our flesh will change. So if your value depends on how you look, it's an awful thing to live through, because you will eventually will be worth nothing. The day you get to 70, you will worth nothing. Who will say like, oh, that's a beautiful woman? Maybe your husband, if you get a good one. But you expect, like, talking like a millennial, we're very likely to keep working till the day we'll die. So imagine you being a 70-year-old, being have to deal with this idea. Perhaps you work in sales your whole life, and when you get to your older age, when you do not look like a doll anymore, all your value will go down, or even into the workplace. That's my issue. And I think this is a fact that give women insecurity about our value in society, because we are aware that we are going to get old, that we not always will be pretty, and therefore our perceived value will decrease. That's why I, at least in my personal case, I do not want to allow myself to have value through the way I look, because I am very aware that one day I will be old and will not be attractive anymore, and it won't be like having attention so easily. I will have to work something else about me to get value in the society. But the problem is how the society is structured. If the society I can give my best to become a woman who is well educated, who is a good person, who has succeed through work, maybe succeed through marriage, but still, even though if I give my best about that, if I live in a society that constantly remarks the way you look, it's very difficult to get through the hole you will be falling into. You get what I'm saying? And that's why one of my insecurities, and it's an insecurity that it's very real, through the fact that I cannot look young and beautiful for the rest of my days. That's not the way things are. It's not how nature works. We will all get old. Uh-huh. Was that right? And that will be it. And I feel like there is a lot of push and forth about the of what way it looks, because there's a saying that calls that women look better at their 20s, that a woman will be at her best in looks, talking about looks, at her 20s, and a man will be best at his looks at maybe late 40s, early 40s, I don't recall. But think about that. How prepared are you to get into life through the hardships and through the laboral world? In your early 20s, you are not as smart, not smart, but prepare experience about the workplace, how life still works, because you are coming out of your teenage to your 20s, and directly to your 20s you are, as a woman, you're expected to look certain way and behave certain way and to get into certain positions in the workplace. But after that, what? You become someone who does not call attention so much because of the way because you got older. So what I want to transmit with this video is that at least me, I am never going to allow myself to have my looks the give me the value. If there's something with the society that said no, no, your value entirely depends on the way you look, that's an awful thing. First things first. But still, I am not going to give myself to that. I am not going to always wear makeup just for the sake of a standard of acceptance and to get more sales. Because as a human being, I think I have a lot to give. There's a lot I want to do. There's a lot I want to learn. And the fact that people keep telling me that you should look like this each day gets me angry, because I don't want to look like this each day. Some days I am just tired. On some days I just want to go to the gym and you wear sweatpants all day. So yeah, I do understand the importance of having a decent presentation, especially if you are dealing with other people, especially at your workplace. But do us a favor and do not expect us women. I remark what I said earlier. I am talking specifically as a woman, to always seek to look pretty to the last of our days, because it won't happen. At the very last of our days, we will be old and not so beautiful. So if you love a woman, maybe your mom, maybe your sister, maybe a good friend, maybe your partner, do not feed this idea of the importance that looks have on their value in society. That's what I wanted to talk about today. Um, I know that audio keeps being an issue. I am working on it, almost there. And thanks so much for being here with me. With this project, you are helping me a lot to get with my speech issues and to get more confident about myself and the things I cannot control. Well, that will be all for today. Thanks you so much. Kisses.